Hello guys, welcome to In 5 Minutes. Let's try to understand what you mean by process scheduling. Process scheduling involves two terms, process and scheduling. What are the process? Well, we already say program in running state. So we are very clear about one thing, process. Do you think there exists only one program, one process on a machine? No, there would be n processes together. Let's take another term, scheduling. Scheduling? Who would go next? Obviously, this has to be decided on basis of some criteria. So together, what do you mean by a term of process scheduling? It's a term of deciding which process to go next. Now, why we need to know this or why the scheduling is required? Let's try to understand. Every process who wants to run has to go through some kind of a queue or some kind of buffer which will lend itself to a running state. Now, obvious question is why buffer in terms of running, or why buffer is needed between the process and the running of the process? For the obvious reason. This can be due to IO. IO can work faster or slower than our current speed of requesting. That can be due to high priority, technically known as preemption. That can also be due to child process. So basically there are many reasons why which you have to let process be there on a queue or a buffer, and later on when given a chance move from a ready to a running stage. Let's take one example. Consider there is one process. This process would fit itself to a queue. This is a waiting queue, or rather queue of waiting process. This would give it to a dispatcher. From a dispatcher, it would be selected by a processor, and hopefully if over, then the process stops. But in most of the cases, a process going to a processor and getting over in one shot is not going to be possible. So in most cases, from the processor, it will come back and go back to the queue. As we say, it will continue itself for the next round. Why? Consider we have a process which is a large enough. In each pass, some part of process would get over. In second pass, remaining. In third pass, remaining. In fourth, and so on. That means there would be multiple passes starting with pass 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 6 to get over. So this is the basic use of scheduling, is to execute the needed process completely, but due to the fact of process sorry due to the fact of process scheduling, or rather multi-processing system, each process needs to go through in this manner. The most common question is how a process would be executed with all these queues coming into picture. Okay, let's try to see. We have a process. Under the ideal condition, one of the process from the ready queue is selected, given to the CPU, and if its work is over, it will simply exit. That means it gets over with the execution. But in most of the cases, this thing is not gonna happen. CPU would take the process, but suppose the time allotted to that process is over. Under that case, the process would be paused and then restored in ready queue. Another common thing which may happen is if the process which is currently getting executed has some IO request to be made. Under that scenario, it will enter IO request queue. From that, IO would be happening, and from that, it would be given back to the ready queue if the entire job is not over. Third thing possible is when a process is getting executed, it is requiring some kind of child for further execution. So it would create a child, Child will execute, and till the time child is executing, the parent process would be waiting again in a ready queue. In some rare possible cases is when you are executing your job, suddenly an interrupt came. So now you will be preempted or paused. So we say wait for an interrupt. Interrupt will occur, and during this interrupt gets executed and served, you as a process would be on the ready queue again. That's it. Thanks for watching this video.